Hello, dear listener. I'm your host, Hike, and today my guest is a memecoin trader turned the ultimate reply guy making six figures a year. Alex, tell me who you are and what you do.
Hey, first of all, I want to thank you so much for having me. And just to tell you who I am, I'm Alex. I built a reply guy agency in the past 1 year. And as you said, is generating six figures. And basically, I've been in Web3 since 2018, joined full time and working in Web3 since 2021. And I'm not planning to leave the space anytime soon. So, yeah, that's a quick background of who I am.
What let's go a little back.
Yep.
Um, what did you do before 2018?
Before 2018, or even during 2018, I was working as a customer support representative at a major software company. And when I entered 2018, it was completely by mistake. And I went to my friend's house one day and I see like 20 graphic cards doing something in the corner of his room. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, bro, the next thing, the next big thing, Ethereum. He explained to me a little bit about Ethereum, a little bit about Bitcoin. I don't know. I just found it very fascinating. And a fun fact, my first crypto that I ever bought was XRP in 2018. And then I sent it from my wallet to Coinbase, but I lost all of it because I forgot to add a memo. Thankfully, it was not much money, but that was my first lesson of, self custody kind of thing.
So you entered in 2018 by mistake,
Yep.
and then at some point you started working in Web3. How did that happen?
So I really wanted to enter Web3. And, in 2021, things started picking up and the bull market started coming back. And I really loved NFTs during that time. But I never expected to be able to join Web3 with my skill set, which was technical support, customer support. So one day I was just looking through careers on Rarible and I saw that they're hiring a community support engineer. So I applied like immediately. And thankfully, I haven't worked in Web3, but I had like 5 certificates, like digital currency 12-week program, fundamentals of NFTs, Ethereum 101, Bitcoin 101, technical analysis 101. So I applied for the job. And during the first interview, they literally said, okay, you're hired. And I was like, what? Like, that was so random. And that's how I joined Web3 and I started my professional career in Rarible.
So your first company was Rarible.
Yes.
Lucky. How long did you spend in Rarible?
3 months.
Okay.
And mainly because everyone was making so much money from NFTs that it really made no sense. And I mean, like, I remember looking at LinkedIn and people were having like, in their experience, like NFT trader or something like that. But in reality, during the bull market, everyone just makes stupid amount of money. So I actually left Rarible and I wish I didn't because even though I made really good money from NFTs, I round tripped it. And then I had to start again from technically zero. Because like
Mm.
that during that phase of my life, I only had customer support, tech support, community management experience. But after the NFTs bull run and after round tripping six figures, I realized that I need to level up my skills if I want to get anywhere in a better situation. So like I was like, what's the most in demand skill right now? And it was social media management. So
Mm.
I tripled down to that during the entire bear market. So yeah, that's basically the mini story.
This is the perfect point to jump from where you started to double down on building your skill set
Mhm.
to when you launched the agency. Just give me a brief description of how the process went and let's dive deep into Web3.
Okay, so I joined Rarible 2022, hosted 4 NFT IRL events. 2023 joined NFT valuations, and the advisory board was Punk 6529 and their team, basically the OM. Then I realized that I can out earned my current position. So I went freelancing for a little bit. And then I joined as a social media team lead for and Launchpad. And then I realized I think it's time for me to do something myself. But it was mainly because I spotted an opportunity that no one else was really speaking about, and it was replies. Because replies are top of the funnel when it comes to crypto Twitter, that gives you profile visits, impressions, brand awareness, relationship building, cash flow. And I tested it out with one company, and the results were immaculate. Tested it out with second company. The results again were bringing in the metrics that it was hitting their KPIs. And it was just constant confirmation of going from 0 to 1 as a reply guy agency. And then it's like, okay, this is a solid strategy and we're going to master it and stick to one service only. And that's basically how it all began.
What's the problem you solve with the agency?
So if you want me to be like one liner, two liner, is that founders don't have time to do their own replies. And social media managers should not do replies either. I worked as a social media manager slightly for 3 years, and like doing 50 replies per day is draining. And we built in-house strategies. Like, we didn't copy majority of the people who were trying to do reply guy. We created our own playbook that just simply works. And we worked with both founders, personal brands, and different companies like DeFi, ZK rollups, AI, NFTs, meme coins. Even we had one client with meme coins, but that's a different story. But back to your point is that social media managers should not handle replies, and founders or personal brands don't have time either for that. And we solve all of those issues, along with also providing metrics like profile visits, smart followers, brand awareness, impressions, engagement rates, and the results speaks for themselves.
Think about results. Give me the top achievement for the agency at this point.
I believe this was actually very, very, very early on, and this actually helped us shape the agency. We worked with a major gaming project, Web3 gaming project, in last November, and they were basically struggling to go beyond 200K impressions per month. But hey, everyone was skeptical about using a reply guy, right? So it was kind of an experimental phase of me believing that I can deliver value to someone who needs such a solution, but I wasn't even sure if I can deliver that value. So they were struggling to go from like 200, 300K impressions per month. And with 100 replies per day, we added them 500K impressions on top of that, meaning that those 500K impressions were surpassing their impressions from content, KOLs, partnerships, and all of that stuff. And they wanted to solidify their gaming network. So, like, think of anyone on Twitter who talks about gaming. They wanted to target them, but like posts don't target them. DMs do, but what makes you even better to do DMs? If you did replies and already spoke to them and then send a DM. Because sending cold approach DM is one thing, but warming them up, speaking to them for a few days, you press follow, they follow back, then the DM is so warm that you can ask them for things and you're already aligned and they like you and you like them. So not only have we added 500K impressions month to month, but we also managed to convert around 50 Web3 gaming profiles, personal brands, to follow them as well. To, how you have on Twitter on your account and you go to someone else's, is like followed by. So imagine like increasing that followed by a lot.
So you added 500K on top of the 200 they had.
Yes, per month for 3 months.
Crazy.
Organic, by the way, fully organic. We don't do AI. We are humanly operated agency.
You also mentioned about companies being skeptical when hiring a reply guy agency or a reply guy. Can you tell me more about that? Like, what's the main challenge in working with companies?
Educating them about the service and setting
Mhm.
expectations, because we had one client, right? And they were expecting Reply Guy to literally solve all of their issues. After that, I learned that I need to manage expectations. I need to educate what the service does. And I even have some content on my Twitter, because not so long ago, like 2 weeks ago, I posted into like a BD Cabal Telegram group, like an intro, like I do Reply Guy service, right? And then someone was like, "Can you explain to me what it is?" And I sent him a PDF file, and his reply was like, I'm not bothered to read all of this. I know it's AI slop, and like
Mhm.
I don't need a shilling app." And that was not even 0.01% of how it works.
It's a rather new concept, I believe, and many associated with AI slop on the shields that we had back in 21, 22. It's like a PTSD thing from the last bull run. Makes sense. But everything is going great from what I can hear.
There are a few, well, look, I believe that any founder or business owner will solve one issue and then another issue arises. And then you constantly have to learn new skills, learn new strategies, build systems, build processes, hiring. So, no, not everything is going well. Like, do we make money and we are doing profits? Yes. But, like, can we do
Mhm,
better? Also, yes, kind of thing.
mhm, mhm. And about the point of doing better, what are you trying to achieve?
In Q4, we want to have minimum 10 concurrent clients, meaning like at all times, no matter if they churn or not, we want to be managing 10 clients at the same time. And that's a Q4 goal. 2026, I want to be managing a minimum of 20 concurrent clients and reaching seven figures in revenue for 2026. And in all honesty, is that hard to do? Yes. But is it impossible? No. So if I don't reach the seven figures, at least I push my hardest, you know? Because like at the moment, all I care about in my life is like health and wealth and absolutely nothing else.
Who you need to connect with to do this?
So first of all, I don't want to do it mainly for clients. It's great to get inbound leads, but I also feel like I need to educate people about what Reply Guy is and that there is science behind it. It's not just LFG fire emoji. So, first of all, for anyone who aspires to be a reply guy or wants to know more about how to properly reply, how to properly target, how to create lists, and all of that stuff. Then the second profile would be people who don't want to use reply guy, but now they watched my video and they know of my agency vibe and they associate the brand with reply guy service. And besides that of general awareness and education, then it would be most likely CMOs, marketers, founders who will need our service because they don't have time or because they don't know how to do it the way we do it.
And summarizing everything, I'd love to learn the single most important thing you learned throughout the whole journey.
Honestly, this is something I learned from round tripping once, round tripping twice, and running an agency. Never, 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 never get too comfy. Even
Hmm.
if you're doing well, don't get comfy because comfort will kill you. Because once you have an upward spiral,
Hmm.
you want to keep up the momentum. When you have a
Hmm.
downward spiral, most of the time it's very hard to stop going downhill. So you
Hmm.
must know when you're going towards a downward spiral to be aware of it and start taking action. Or even better, to always be taking action.
Thank you for your time, Alex. It was a beautiful conversation. I love the stories. And I appreciate you sharing those with me and with us today.
I really, really enjoyed this. Thank you, Hayek. So yeah, thank you so much.
Leave questions for Alex in the comments. I'll drop a link to connect with him in the description, and I'll see you in the next episode.